Hello, hello. I'm just waiting for a few of you guys to join the live and then we can go ahead and get started. I wanted to see if I could catch you guys at this time. Let me check my lighting. There we go. Hope that you guys are doing well this evening. It's kind of late for this live, but I wanted to see if I could catch you at this time. So I'm going to wait for a few of you guys to pop in here and we'll get started shortly. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm sure more of you guys will join in. Let's see. All right, so for today's agenda, it's all about grieving. So I am a licensed therapist, but I've experienced grieving myself, and I felt like in my experience, it really wasn't talked about, and it really wasn't normalized to grieve or, expressing your feelings. So I just felt like this would be a good topic for therapy talk tonight. We could start off with the topic of the night, and then if any of you guys want to chime in, I can send out the link, and then we can finish it up with tarot if you guys have any questions in regards to personal questions or any type of questions in regards to mental health or grieving. So if you are grieving or if you have grieved before, then this video is for you. All I have to say is you're not alone. After becoming a therapist, I really looked at the word grieving differently, because you can grieve a lot of different things. Like typically when you think of grieving, you think of someone passing away. But my understanding deepened after I became a therapist. You can grieve if you have a divorce or you break up in a relationship, if you lose some type of like your job or lose your financial stability, even losing a pet, of course, that's grieving as well. So there's different ways that you can experience grieving, losing something in your life and no longer having that in your life, some type of big change or adjustment. So these are just some things that I learned about grieving from my personal experience and with becoming a therapist. So the first thing is grieving is not linear. I guess at one point I thought like you grieve, you're sad for so long and so much time passes by and you feel better. And the thing is you do feel better, but it's not a linear thing. Like some days you have good days and some days you have days where you're really sad. And that's okay. So just know that it's not linear and there's nothing wrong with you. There are no setbacks. If, years have passed and it hits you and that feeling of sadness hits you and you're just really, really sad, that is normal. That is okay. So that's one of the first things that I learned about grieving just with my experience as well. Also, like some days are going to be heavier than others, and you're just going to have to know your limit, and you're just going to have to give yourself that space to heal, cry, journal, whatever you need to do to, get that emotion out of your body. So a lot of times I like to visualize certain things. It really helps me. So whenever I have those days that are heavy, I envision my emotions as waves, like from the ocean. So waves, they kind of go like this. If you try to resist, it's harder. It causes more friction. So allow the waves to pass, allow the emotions to pass. You can't cry forever. The emotion is only temporary. You're not always going to feel that sad. Even in that moment, you may feel like that. Let's see. Also, one thing that I learned and with my grieving experience is, the grieving process is unique for everyone. Grieving is going to look different on me, on you, on people around you. Some people get quiet, some people stay busy, some people like to work, some people like to, you know, spend time alone. So there is no wrong way to grieve. Everybody's grieving process is different. It's unique to each of us. And then depending on what you're grieving, whether you lost a job or you broke up in a relationship or if you lost a loved one, each of those experiences is going to be a different experience of grief for you. So let's see. I was just checking the chat really quick. Also, one of these things that I didn't really realize when I was going through my grieving process was seeking therapy. You don't have to grieve alone. If I would have known that in the past, I probably would have gone sooner. But therapy is a wonderful way to just hold space for yourself and talk to someone and process your feelings and, get that validation and in a non-judgmental environment. So, I would definitely say if you have the opportunity, if you feel like you need to, talk to a professional, then you can really get some good, healthy coping skills as well. Because the main thing is grieving looks different for everyone. The only thing is you want to make sure you're doing it in a healthy way, that you're safe, everyone around you is safe, and therapy can really help with that. So a lot of you know I am a licensed therapist. If you are in the state of Texas, feel free to schedule a free consultation. And all of my information is listed in the link below. If you are not in Texas, you could always look for a therapist intern if you look for a therapist and you're not able to afford it, or if you don't have health insurance. I definitely feel that therapy is one of those things that everyone should have access to. And therapy is not only for grieving, it's for, any type of thing that, maybe you experience some type of major life change, like a death or, trauma from your childhood. It's just various reasons of why you would need to, why you wanted to go to therapy. Maybe you've never felt heard or you didn't feel supported or you want to work on your confidence. So there's a lot of different reasons why people go to therapy. Let's see. Another thing that really helps with the grieving process, which is so simple, is crying. I have like a whole different outlook on crying after becoming a therapist on my spiritual journey. A lot of times my guides will let me know, like with crying, it's like energetic. When you cry and you release that energy, you release it from your body and then you feel better. Also, when you cry, you release certain endorphins in your body, which actually regulate your mood. And it relieves you of physical and mental pain. So crying is one of those things that is very freeing. It makes you feel lighter, and it helps, regulate your mood. So there is nothing wrong with crying. Give yourself time and space to release all of those feelings. Now, for some people, during the grieving process, it may be very difficult to put your thoughts into words. So one thing that I found very helpful during my grieving process was journaling. It gives you time to express your feelings when you don't have the words. It's a non-judgmental space. No one's going to, judge you when you're writing your words. But it's another way that my guides let me know that it's a way for you to energetically release that energy into something else and out of your body. Because when you hold in your grief, you're holding that in your body, and that can turn into sickness or affecting your immune system. So you want to try to find a way to let your grieving out, whether it's crying, exercising, putting your energy into work, sleeping. You want to try to find ways to kind of get that energy out when you feel it building up, especially like strong emotion. So one thing that I've learned over time that's really, really important is taking care of yourself. When you're feeling really sad or if you're feeling really down, increasing your self-care. Think about if you had a friend that was hurt, and they were sad or upset, like you would try to take care of them, you would try to nurture them. So a lot of times when we're hurting or we're grieving, we don't think to take care of ourselves. So just make sure you take your time and you know when to nurture yourself when you are having those days where you're feeling really low. And yeah, that's another thing. Just know your limits. Like some days you may need to, cry for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. Some days you may feel like being talkative. Some days you may feel like being by yourself. Maybe some days you need to take a mental health day from work. Just know what you need, check in with yourself, and, just try not to push yourself if, you feel overwhelmed. I know when I was going through my grieving process, it's like certain thoughts would pop through my head, like, get over being sad. Like, this is silly. Like, you're still sad. Like, stuff like that. So just know that your feelings aren't silly. Your feelings are valid. Whether you feel angry, whether you feel hurt, whatever the feelings are, because I almost feel like it's like a emotional roller coaster. Like, sometimes you're going to feel like this and sometimes you're going to feel like that. So it's really important to know that there's different parts of you inside. You have your inner child, you have you now. So there's different parts of you that's missing that person and grieving and all of those emotions. So you want to make sure that you're giving space for each of you inside, I guess, to mourn the way that they're going to mourn. Because maybe 8-year-old you is mad at that person that passed away. And maybe 20-year-old you is, you feel a different way. So just know that it really helps honor your feelings when you can give yourself time and space. That's another thing, there's no rush. There's no rush when it comes to grieving. Sometimes I see it as like my guides tell me if you have a space, right? And say you love that person and all of that love filled that much space or this much space, whatever it is. And now they're gone and they're not in your physical presence. You're going to feel like something is missing. So take your time, show yourself some grace, try to talk to yourself like a friend, and that'll really help ease the process of healing. So yeah, I hope that those tips were helpful. If you resonate with this video, please comment below. Let me know, what do you do when you're grieving? Like for me, it is a journey. It is a cycle. You have your good days, you have your bad days. But it's just one of those things that you kind of grow with. If you guys would, like a series of these videos, then let me know, comment below. Also, asking for signs is really helpful as well. If you did have a past loved one that passed away, asking for signs is very helpful, like pennies, feathers, favorite songs, whatever it is, and you'll know that they're there. So, all right. Well, let me know how you guys like this video. I'll be on here for a little bit longer, see if any of you guys hop on. So if you guys want to carry on with the tarot, if not, I will be ending this video. All right, looks like it's getting late. So yes, like I said, comment below, let me know how you like this video. I'm gonna try to be here at 8 o'clock next time for this next therapy talk. So I'm wishing you guys love and abundance, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.